Chattle!
Yaddle Chattle!
Oh, baby! It's a Star Wars podcast, baby! Back from vacation. I'm sure my neighbors are real pleased about that. My name is Darth David, Daddy. We're gonna rock and roll. We got a lot of good Star Wars here. We are back from our little vacation. First vacation, honestly, that Yaddle has taken in quite some time, so I'm very excited to be back in the old Yaddle Chattle saddle, baby. The Yaddle Chattle saddle, you like that? With me, as always, one of the greats. And the only reason why I say this is because he just brought me ribs. Look at this, people. Now, if he didn't bring me ribs, I was ready to trash him, because I'm fired up today, as you can tell. But I ain't gonna trash a rib giver. Look at that. So welcome to the show, the greatest podcast co-host of all time, Jedi Jared!
Thank you, David.
That's all you gotta do is bring me food, and you will be treated like gold on this show. I will make you the star. This might be called Jared Chattle. Yaddle Chattle. By the end of it, listen, we got a busy day. The Bob Iger, the Ahsoka Tano trailer, Christopher Nolan. You heard that right. He's talking about Star Wars, and he ain't saying no. Okay? We got John Boyega ranking the sequel trilogy, and so much more. I mean, it's an action-packed episode. We gotta get right into it.
Okay, let's get into it.
No more bullshit.
Got it.
Well, I gotta say, and real quick, first, quick little plug. Episode 5 of Davey Mac's Tales
5
from the Satellite is out on patreon.com/EastsideDave, and it was an epic 3-hour journey. In case you haven't seen Tales from the Satellite yet, you must see the show that everyone is talking about. Not just the people involved, but the hosts who are involved have actually all somehow given it positive reviews. I'm not gonna say anything, but they either retweets or positive reviews or things like that. Episode 5, though, was very special, an epic 3-hour episode, because Jedi Jared actually was on the show with me. And what Tales from the Satellite is, real quick, is my is a look at my 10-year career at SiriusXM Satellite Radio, between working for Ron and Fez, many appearances on Opie and Anthony, all the crossover stuff on O&A, the Davey Mac Sports Program XL, and Special Delivery starring Sam and Dave. All of these topics will be covered at one point or another. We hadn't really been hardcore into the Opie and Anthony world. Radio Wars was this past episode. Me. Jedi, who am I? Me, Darth David.
Oh, we're doing the baby
East
face.
Side Dave
now?
versus Davey Mac versus him, Jedi Jared, a.k.a. Jared Fishman, a.k.a. back in the day, a long time ago, infamously known as Cream Pie Jones. So Dave versus Cream Pie Jones, Radio War, O&A versus Ron and Fez. That's the episode that is getting rave reviews.
Awesome.
You can only get it exclusively on patreon.com/EastsideDave. That's a little bit of the business. That's out of the way. Okay, look.
Oh, can I just...
Yes, please. If you have an input. Actually, I gotta get water anyway.
So,
I'm gonna put these beautiful ribs in the fridge, Jared. Look at this, folks. Hold on, folks. I'm showing to the YouTube people. Look at that, folks. Jared, what do we, talk to the people how these were made, please.
About 9 hours in the slow cooker.
Oh!
I got my slow cook ribs I can't make them on the smoker for shit.
Ooh.
But the slow cooker, I've perfected it. I've got it down to a science.
Okay, get right in front of the microphone. I'm not going to be yelling at you. There it is.
So
someone said to me the other day, how come we don't get Jared his own mic at this point? I said, the microphone is right in front of his face. He just has to sit there. The microphone is totally fine. In fact, getting a microphone in front of Jared would be worse, because that means I wouldn't be as close to him in order to physically wrangle him in front of the microphone. But because of the ribs, I'm just going to push it.
Thank
there.
you.
There.
So,
Okay.
a friend of the show, Scott Lizard Abrams, co-host of the History Homos podcast, said that the show that you're doing, the Tales from the Satellite, we're gonna see that's gonna be the next big thing, like the something to wrestle about, the Tales from the Satellite. You're gonna start seeing a lot more people doing these kind of retrospective podcasts.
Yeah, I mean that was the idea. I got it from Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, where Conrad goes into Bruce Pritchard's 25-year career in the WWE, where he was essentially, I mean, yes, he was a performer. He did Brother Love. But he was a behind-the-scenes guy, right-hand man to Vince McMahon. It kind of parallels me, like Bruce Pritchard, performer, producer, guy who could come up with storylines and shit like that, but not the guy. Vince is the guy. So I'm kind of the Bruce Pritchard of radio in some capacity, I guess. And I'll take that happily. But the show's going great. You gotta check out the Jared episode. It's right there. It's pinned at the top. Easy access. Only can be available on Patreon. The show's going so well that people are like, can you please release it? I go, well, then what's the point of the Patreon? We're going to debate, maybe even talk to the Patreon people. Maybe we can put it in like a couple months from now. In other words, the Patreon audience will get that show literally months in advance. If they're cool with that, then maybe we'll release it normally. But if not, then we're just going to keep it Patreon exclusive. That's the whole point.
Yes.
We're not charging people an arm and a leg.
Yeah, we're charging $2.50.
It's a $2.50 sign up, and you get
it's like that or $5.
Though you get at least one, or you get 2 of those episodes a month.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, that's the Patreon. It was a great experience. Make sure you check it out. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's loving it. Bob Iger.
Yes.
Making the news, pissing the fuck out of people.
Now, let's give kudos to the flashy lady from Queens.
Who's that?
Fran Drescher.
Oh, Fran Drescher. Yeah. The nanny.
The nanny.
She's been front and center.
Oh, she's fucking based, dude.
She has been all over this
Who
thing.
knew that she was the SAG-AFTRA president?
Well, look at the camera.
Yeah,
okay. I wasn't aware of that.
No, I wasn't aware of that either.
And I will say this. I always liked the Fran Drescher. I never watched The Nanny, but you know where I was a fan of her in? Fucking Spinal Tap. Bobby Fleckman, hostess with the mostest. Come on, she was great and very good looking in that movie.
Well, she was great in UHF. She was in UHF, right?
I don't remember. But listen to what Iger said. He said, too much Marvel, too much Pixar, and possibly too much Star Wars. And he said that despite what everyone thinks, Disney is not into social issues. So if you have a criticism about, Disney and the social issues, just shut up, basically, because he said that's not what the business that we're into. He said, though, we've made mistakes about too much content. Meanwhile, as he's saying this, it's the nightmare of the 3 new Star Wars movies in 2026/2027 are like haunting my brain because he's literally setting himself up to make the exact same mistake.
No.
3 Star Wars movies in 16 months is too much.
Well, I agree with that. However, I don't think, you see, the way he looks at like the Marvel content is all of the Marvel television shows. And I honestly don't think it's necessarily, part of it is Marvel fatigue, but a lot of it is just not great content.
No, that's what it is. It's not great content. I'm watching Secret Invasion right now and loving it. I realize that Krennic is like my favorite actor. I wish I knew the guy's name. All I do is call him Krennic because of Rogue One.
It's Ben Mendelsohn.
Oh, I love this Ben Mendelsohn. I watched him on the HBO, too.
Oh, The Outsider?
The Outsiders!
Yeah, he was good in that.
Oh, I love the Ben Mendelsohn. Fucking Ready Player One, Batman Dark Knight Rises, Rogue One, The Outsiders, and now this, The Secret Invasion. I'm into it. I mean, he was in Captain Marvel.
Yes.
And he's recreating that character. I actually love this show. You know why? It reminded me when I was a kid, You might have been alive, but you were just a dumb little,
baby.
Baby. V. Did you ever hear about the miniseries V?
I know of V, yes.
And so V there were lizard people living amongst us, and you never knew who was a human or a lizard, and this and that. So it's got a V vibe. You don't know who the goddamn Krulls are.
So it's a docu-series.
And I root for Star Wars actors. That is something that I got a lot of loyalty with my Star Wars. And especially if you're someone who I love, like Ben Mendelsohn in Rogue One, I love Krennic. I seriously only call this guy Krennic. Then I'm going to follow Krennic. So I agree with you that it's not the amount of content. It's good content.
Well, yeah.
And you can't swindle fans. You can't. You can no longer put out a new movie, a new Star Wars, a new Marvel, a new Pixar, and think because it's a Star Wars, Marvel, or Pixar, people are going to see it. No, people now need the story. And it's getting back to basics.
Well, I mean, look at... I know that this isn't Marvel chat or chattel, but I'm just going to use this as an example.
Go ahead.
Marvel really hit the ground running with their television programming between
I love
WandaVision, the first season of Loki.
I still love Loki.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Which I liked and thought was underappreciated, rated, and I was a Hawkeye fan too. I love it.
Hawkeye was pretty cute.
Hawkeye's fun, and it's now going to be a part of my Christmas rotation.
Yeah, it was like a nice, different Christmassy type
I'm
of
going to
thing.
do like Hawkeye each and every Christmas. Spend a few days watching the Hawkeye during the holidays.
But then, with, for example, WandaVision, Catherine Hahn just does a bang-up job. And they're like, oh, let's give this Agatha her own either one-off series or start her own series. And then with Hawkeye, they're like...
Iger addressed that. He said too many fucking... characters are getting movies.
Yeah, don't
And he said too many fucking characters are getting, sequels and trilogies, Ant-Man, that don't need it.
No, I agree.
That's it, Bob. You are right about that. But let's tie it to Star Wars.
Well,
what does this mean for Star Wars?
I
feel like it means...
they're going to cut back on the television shows.
I think that's what it means.
Yes.
I also agree. And that makes me nervous. We're hearing, Jared, that both...
It's going to make us...
Well, no, but I'm going to tell you what... Yeah, because what are we going to fucking talk about? No, we... Okay, so I've heard... We are hearing from great sources. Okay, I'm not going to say who. But I got an inside source. G-Baby. And they're saying both fucking Ewan McGregor and Tamora Morrison both want to do season 2s. In fact, Tamora Morrison met with the Lucasfilm Story Group to say, do not shut down Book of Boba Fett. We want to do Boba Fett too. And they're saying Ewan McGregor wants to do Obi-Wan too.
Obi-Wan,
I think both of those should be approved. I'm sorry. The fucking Boba Fett haters, that's why I hate them. Because the criticism is so harsh. Not everything is Last Jedi bad. And I'm not a Last Jedi hater, but you know what I mean. I am realistic and honest enough with myself to understand, and I don't like how Luke died. So I'm understanding that enough people don't like The Last Jedi. So fine, I'll accept that as a human. But, Book of Boba Fett wasn't like that.
No, it was pretty good.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi was great.
It was probably one of my favorite Star Wars shows.
If Obi-Wan Kenobi had a fucking big-time cinematic budget, the way it should have, and or was turned into a movie the way it probably should have been, it would have been even greater. But whatever. I am a little nervous that it means that Iger is going to cut down on the TV series and then rush the movies. And I think the new release date schedule for the 3 upcoming Star Wars films shows that.
I don't think they're going to change. Right now, I don't think they're going to push anything up. We might get delays, but I really don't think at this point First off, I don't know how he's even saying that there's too much content when 6 months from now we're going to start really feeling the quote-unquote content drought as all of these shows now that we were all looking forward to.
2 strikes
Are on strike, and
actors strike now in addition to the writers strike.
And then did you hear about what some inside executive said
No.
about how they want the end game that the executives have at all these studios is to wait till all of these writers like basically go bankrupt. They lose their homes.
Apartments. I heard something to that
and
effect.
it's like, that's so disgusting.
Oh, you know that's how they are. Oh, listen, did you see what they did? I mean, I don't want to get into this. Isn't Strike Chattle, but did you see what they did in California? It's 100 degrees on the boulevard where they're protesting, all the actors, and they're doing it right outside all of the studios, Universal Studios, so on and so forth. Universal had all of the trees pruned to take all of the leaves away so that in 100 degrees, the actors weren't allowed to stand under the trees in the shade. So they have to boil hot. Meanwhile, fucking actual environmental people who are experts in this field say, well, great, you just fucking killed the trees, because if you prune those trees out of season, they'll fucking die in 1 year's time. So they may have just killed a whole bunch of trees by fucking cutting the leaves off so the actors couldn't stay in the shade. That's scummy. And you know what? Hey, listen, we've had harsh words for fucking Kathleen Kennedy. Iger, you're beginning to concern me too. And remember, when they brought you back, we thought, okay, Bobby Iger is going to get the fucking ship straight. I think you made some decent decisions, but I think all of a sudden, I don't know. You're starting to make me nervous. I got to tell you, folks, it's as simple as this. The fucking old man is out there bringing George Lucas to be something you hold on. Hold on. You literally say your fucking annual contract is $100 million or some shit. Something so fucking insane. He can't say no. Meanwhile, you are called you're not the president of Lucasfilm.
Chief Content Officer.
But you are some kind of
Chief Creative Officer.
Yes, Overlord. How about just simply Star Wars Overlord? The Overlord of Star Wars. And he is consulted with every decision. He doesn't have to come up with one thing.
You know,
but I think we're seeing more and more and more that these fucking producers, these CEOs, and a lot of the young directors, they don't get Star Wars. They don't understand it. George understood Star Wars in the way I could only compare it to wrestling, in that the best wrestlers, the best promoters know when to build something up, know when to beat the baby face down, know when the heel needs to be a chicken or the heel needs to be ruthless, knows how to set up characters, set up storylines, when wrestling is done well, I should say, and bring everything and give the people what they want instead of outthinking the people. Rian Johnson, not making Luke Skywalker cool in any way, saying stupid shit like, I could have had Luke Skywalker use the Force and pull down 1,000, Star Destroyers, but I was like, that would be the easy thing. I'm like, no, that would be the cool, awesome thing, fuckhead. It's what we want to see. Give the people what they want. Part of Star Wars is that. Giving the people what they want.
Is the payoff.
That's it.
Like,
and time again, you're finding out that more and more of these executives, they just don't fucking get that shit. They wouldn't get it if they were the last fucking producer on Earth.
Well, you've seen the beginning of that brilliant movie Robert Altman directed, The Player.
I love The Player.
That is
what a movie.
That is as Hollywood and as real as it gets.
I know. You gotta stand there. Look at me on the screen, will you?
I'm looking at you. But
no, I know The Player. Robert Altman.
Can I just say something while you're talking about George Lucas being like the Star Wars overlord? It reminded me of, I think it was a Mad TV bit that they did where they were interviewing George Lucas, and he's like, "If Star Wars is a religion, then I am God."
If Star Wars is a religion, I'm God. And in all honesty, what I should do is, the book of Genesis, I should just cause a massive, gigantic, flood, and it just sweeps all over, Lucasfilm and Disney, and killing, Kathleen Kennedy and Iger and those types, I'm just going to drown them, and I'll start fresh. Maybe, maybe I'll give, Jared and David and Christopher Nolan an arc, and say, you boys, you guys take, take Star Wars into the future. Get 2 of every Jedi, and 2 of every Sith, and 2 of every Yoda, and 2 of every Wookiee. You know how the goddamn Bible, thing goes. Make it one of those Bible type movies, but I mean, we really, those goddamn white slavers at Disney, fucking Iger, trying to push me around, and then, you know what? I'm God,
So
I'm God.
What did God do in Exodus to the whites, to the slavers?
We're gonna give them the 10 plagues. We're gonna put on, locusts. Although, I think it'd be better if we did more Star Wars, So, we're going to get, some of those bugs, those bug creatures from Attack of the Clones, rather than locusts. Those things are way, they're much larger. Geonosians. Yeah, I don't know what, listen, with all due respect, I just come up with with the way they look. I go, give me a bug guy. I don't know their fucking names. That's for, with all due respect here, Jared, that's, for, fucking nerds like you. To know, Geonosians, and how about the big Empire Strikes Back? They're in the Millennium Falcon, and Leia goes, there's the big thing, and Wampa. What are these called?
The Tribbles?
No, goddamn, whatever. Those
Star
flying
Trek.
fucking
The
creatures.
bats?
Yeah, those flying bat creatures. Whatever those big mouth freakazoids are. Let's have them, attack. Maybe eat Bob Iger's face off. And I mean, we could even, put it on Disney Plus if we'd like, I'm God, no one's gonna, no one's gonna fuck with me, God Lucas. I'm gonna change my first name, and I'll still keep my initials as GL. So, I mean, Iger, you fucked me up. You fucked my ass hard with what you've done to my goddamn fucking movies. Anyway, God Lucas, over and out. Fuck you, America.
So I think that's the key. Now, I brought up Christopher Nolan.
Yes.
I'm going to read you a quote. Christopher Nolan is he's being a little critical of the Hollywood studio system, just basically in general, saying keep pushing and keep telling creative stories, and keep pushing as much as possible. He says, People will tell you that the success of Star Wars, and by the way, he's positive, he's pro Star Wars. Quote, people will tell you that the success of Star Wars had nothing to do with its visual effects, and it was all down to its great story. But, I mean, clearly that's not the case. It is indeed a great story, but it's also an incredible visual and oral experience. So this willful denial of what movies actually are has set in. And I think the world of Christopher Nolan. I don't think I've ever disliked one single Christopher Nolan film. I'm a Christopher Nolan mega fan.
I
between
love
the
him
Dark
too.
Knights, between Memento, a movie that the critics were kind of 50-50, and I think as great as Insomnia with Pacino and Robin Williams. I love the Magician movie that he did.
The Prestige.
The Prestige with Christian Bale and fucking Wolverine. I love Dunkirk. Quentin Tarantino says Dunkirk is the greatest war movie ever.
I haven't seen Dunkirk.
Did you see Tenet?
Yes.
Enough people have not seen. I love Tenet.
I didn't get parts of Tenet.
I know, and that doesn't bother me with Christopher Nolan. You just got to go on the ride. And then Inception, of course. Come on. Can we admit Inception's a masterpiece at least?
Yes. That and Interstellar. I think people were too fucking harsh on Interstellar. I thought it was very much like he was trying to do his own version of 2001.
Yes.
And it was excellent. It was an excellent film.
So, Christopher Nolan was asked point blank, would you consider a Star Wars film? He said, sure. He said, I will not say no to directing Star Wars. He didn't say he has any plans. He didn't say he's got an idea. But he simply said, if Star Wars is approached, it's not an automatic no. And I think people thought that because he is an acclaimed type of guy. He's getting that reputation. it's now becoming a thing where like everyone in the industry, from the fucking Tarantinos to the Scorseses to everyone, is saying this is the fucking guy.
He is. I mean,
Well, Jesus Christ! Iger! Kathleen Kennedy! Christopher fucking Nolan! You can get him into the Star Wars galaxy, the Star Wars storytelling group? Do it now!
let me just say, in 2003, 2004, no one actually took seriously the idea of a new Batman movie.
No, it was a totally dead franchise after the fourth movie.
After the Clooney. The Batman and Robin.
It was dead.
It was no one.
Dead.
Everyone was like, what? It's going to be stupid. It's going to be campy
Dead.
again. And then I was like, no, like, they got the guy from Memento to play.
And at that point, I was high on Insomnia as well. So I was like, this guy,
But, like,
this young fucking director's awesome.
Put it together. He hired Dave Goyer to co-write a script
The
with
Dark
him.
Knight trilogy in all three films, for me, in my estimation, are brilliant.
But
get on the mic.
He got
Thank you.
he got an excellent guy who understands comic books and how to adapt them to film with Dave Goyer, who's an excellent writer and director. He has some hits, he has some misses, but I like him a lot. Then he casted Christian Bale as Batman. Who had
Excellent.
just come off doing American Psycho. And then that it was like a small little science fiction film called Equilibrium, but he had to do like a lot of
But
action
American
scenes.
Psycho
Yes, where
brought Christian Bale back into the thing, because he was obviously a kid actor.
Yeah, but you could see the dynamic, like where he could play both Bruce Wayne and Batman.
No doubt.
Right?
He was perfect.
They
Great
casted
choice.
fucking Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon.
I
looks
know.
exactly like
All
him.
right,
But I'm just saying, like this.
Bring it to Star Wars. Bring it to Star Wars.
I think he understands what makes a good movie. Like, he understands how important a story is.
I think that quote is a perfect example.
How important casting is for like fitting a certain character.
Look, it's not unlike Stanley Kubrick, which is film auteur. And the definition is someone who can do it all and do it all well.
Yes.
And cares to, like a Kubrick, who was not just a brilliant director.
He was a genius.
Cinematographer.
He was a mathematician.
He invented camera lenses. He literally invented photography processes and shit like that.
He was
Orson Welles, another film auteur. Christopher Nolan is in that category. If this guy is out there saying, hey, I won't say no to a Star Wars movie, I like Star Wars. This is as much a no-brainer as you can possibly have. Fuck everyone else. This is the guy. Not Rian Johnson. Not Benioff and Weiss. This is the guy you give a trilogy to. He just proved it with Batman. Track record is there. Brought back to life a dead franchise and put together a trilogy that was extraordinary.
It changed cinema.
And one of the guys won a fucking Oscar. Heath Ledger.
Not only that, but he shot The Dark Knight in IMAX, and it was like, it became one of the most successful domestic grossing films, like next to Titanic.
The man's a genius, and let me say something else. There is a free, full-length documentary on YouTube, put out by Warner Brothers, full-length, hour and a half, 2 hours, about Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Watch it. It's for free. Watch it, okay? It's awesome. And then come back and say, holy shit, this is the guy who should possibly be running Star Wars. Again, we're all looking for that Feige. He won't do it. He's too much of a filmmaker. I get it. But Jesus Christ, pal. Jesus Christ.
Well, I just, shit.
What? If you
No,
lost your train
remember,
of thought, don't worry.
no.
We got to do the Ahsoka trailer.
No. But I think that the problem is that we haven't had many of those quote-unquote great scenes. Like, It was reminding me of the documentary we talked about last week, James Cameron's documentary.
Did you watch the rest of the episodes?
Not yet. I haven't had a chance. You know what I was doing all last week. I was preparing for a child's birthday party.
Okay.
Anyway.
Fair.
But one of the commentators says that, like, this is what encapsulates Star Wars, and it's not the special effects. It's that one particular shot where Luke is looking out on Tatooine at the Two Suns sunset, and John Williams' score is playing in the background, and
beautiful.
That is what
that's Star Wars.
It encapsulates there's no dialogue,
no lightsabers,
no action, there's nothing, but you get the entire sense of what the movie is about.
100%. And Nolan would get that.
Yes.
And by the way, Nolan is also all over that it's called James Cameron's The Story of Science Fiction. Again, I bought it, folks, off of Amazon Prime. You can watch it for free on YouTube with Spanish subtitles underneath it. If that doesn't annoy you, then watch it for free on YouTube. I bought it because I loved it that much, and also it's a little more clear on Amazon Prime, the HD. It's a brilliant docuseries. James Cameron's The Story of Science Fiction, and Nolan's all over that one as well. And in fact, it's James Cameron who makes a push to Nolan that he says he feels, James Cameron this is, that the Batmans are post-apocalyptic sci-fi movies. And I'm like, shit, I never thought of that. I mean, you get some big-time cerebral, you get Spielberg, Lucas, Christopher Nolan, Guillermo del Toro, and so on and so forth. Let's go into this.
Okay.
Ahsoka Tano.
Yes.
New trailer.
Yes, I
Well,
saw
I
it.
mean,
I
9 days old, but we were off. We were on vacation last week.
I saw it.
We're going to run through it right now. Okay? You got any issue with that?
No, we can do it.
Did you like the trailer?
Yeah.
War is inevitable.
All right, hold on. Hold on, pal. We're going to watch it, and we'll talk about it. Yeah, you hold it there. Hold on, I want to give Robert a audio cue in case he wants to put up the video. He might not be able to because he is doing a lot of stand-up comedy tonight. Good luck to Robert and his comedy club. But if he can, we're going to start the new Ahsoka Tano trailer in 3, 2, 1.
War
Okay.
is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create.
So what are you seeing there? You're getting like some rebels or something getting killed by the two bad guys.
Well, there was a Republic, so those are Republic.
Republic police.
Yes.
Then we have a little Ahsoka. We'll put it right here.
As heir to the Empire.
Perfect. Look at that.
So it's like a Jedi temple.
Now, is that the same Jedi temple that Grogu contacted Luke Skywalker on?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a different one.
How about that globe? Is that world? Is that the world between worlds? It wasn't in outer space.
Yes, I think that's the world between the worlds.
But it's not in outer space. The world between worlds was in outer space. Is that maybe
it's
a
not
doorway?
No, world between the worlds isn't between outer space. It's kind of like an interdimensional gateway.
Okay. I love that shot. We get a shot of
Lothal.
Star Wars Rebels. Look at this.
Lothal.
This is right out of Star Wars Rebels. Lothal. Looking great. That road. Remember they were always on that road? I always loved that. That they had a little road on Lothal. Sabine looks
highway.
good. That fucking motorcycle looks great. That wasn't R2, was it?
No.
Okay.
As a Jedi,
Not Chopper either.
sometimes you have to make the decision no one else.
There's Ezra talking to
I'm counting on you
Sabine.
to see this through.
And she's chopping the hair like it's fucking Pink Floyd The Wall. She's gonna fucking cut off her eyebrows and make a little statue out of, gum and fucking empty cigarette containers.
Regardless of her
Oh, look at that!
personal
The fuck! I didn't even
The
notice
mural,
that the first
the
time.
mural.
The mural she drew.
If we don't stop
I missed that the
Thrawn,
first time I saw this trailer. There's Thrawn!
vain.
Look at that. You like that? I do.
You have no power.
I don't know who these red wielding lightsabers are. These intentionally orangish?
Yes.
People are wondering. Okay.
Yes.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
All right, you get a little Hera activity, get a little droid, you get a little lightsaber, get a little action right here. That's what I'm saying. Ahsoka's ship is cool,
Yes.
and we're getting that.
Is it potentially
that's
a-
Inquisitor?
Is it the Grand Inquisitor? Who's the person behind the
There is.
mask?
All right, thoughts.
I think it's going to be awesome.
I am officially getting Ahsoka fever.
I think
I'm there.
I think what's going to happen is people are going to see it and they're going to ask, what is some of this stuff about, and it might inspire some people to go back and watch Clone Wars, then watch Rebels.
They really should be just watching Rebels. I know if you ever wanted a cheat code, what you do is you watch the last 4 episodes of season 5 of Clone Wars, and then watch season 4, the entire season 4 of Rebels. That's, if you want like the bare minimum of homework, I would watch the last 4 episodes of season 5. Do you need to watch the last 4 episodes of season 7 too?
I would. They were great.
They're great, but is it important for this series?
I think
probably.
at least the series
All right,
finale.
here's what you're gonna do. We're giving you 8 Clone Wars episodes. The last 4 episodes of season 5. The last 4 episodes of season 7. And then season 4 of Rebels. That's the bare minimum. I think that it's a 14 episode season too, by the way, for season 4 of Rebels. So you're probably just looking at 22 half-hour episodes. You can do this. If you do it, I'm telling you, the show is going to be good. I have a very good feeling about it.
No, I have a good feeling about it too. See, I think Filoni is going to come into his own. He's been developing this character for a really long fucking time.
And it's a Filoni and George Lucas character. That's important. It was George who came to the table and said, I want Anakin to have a Padme. And everyone's like, what? I mean, a Padme.
A Padawan.
A Padawan. And he already has a Padme, I suppose. But he said, I want Anakin to have a fucking Padawan. And I believe the process was Filoni then gave him a few options. And George said, okay, I like Ahsoka. So Filoni definitely did help create it, especially the look of Ahsoka. But it's also a George Lucas character. It's a George Lucas, Dave Filoni character. That's exciting. I think the show looks great. I'm really excited for this.
I think the show looks great. I think we're probably going to get another Order 66 flashback with Ray Stevenson. Because the rumor is that
I got no issue with that.
Ray Stevenson was a former Jedi turned bounty hunter.
Okay.
And I think that's why he has the
orange-ish
so it's not completely Sith, but
right.
It's, he takes a walk on the wild side.
All right, fair enough. Oh, and a quick note about it, Kevin Kiner gets to do the score, which I'm very excited for. He did the score for Clone Wars and Rebels.
And he did.
And he's brilliant.
He did the score for.
He does all the animated shows, the big time. Did he do Bad Batch?
I think he does Bad Batch.
I know for a fact he did the series that I loved, which was Tales of the Jedi. He did the score for that. Kevin Conner's as good as it gets when it comes to scores, and I'm really excited that he's getting a live action, like him and Filoni, both live action. This is exciting.
This is no.
And what about Thrawn? Did you like his look?
Yes.
I thought it was perfect.
Yes.
That's exactly the way. I mean, Thrawn's not a difficult kind of portray. Get someone who's thin, paint them blue, give him red eyes, and slick back the hair.
I understand.
He's got a nice Pat Riley hairdo, I think.
Yeah.
I could see Thrawn being a basketball coach. When that was the whole deal. It still is in a lot of circles. After Pat Riley slicked back his hair, there was no show. I mean, fucking Rick Pitino, John Calipari, everyone. If you were a basketball coach, you had to have the fucking slick back hair.
So when did he do that? Because I watched the first season of Winning Time, and he's got like
who? Riley?
Yeah, in the season he's got like long hair and a mustache. He looks kind of like a hippie.
He got into the slick back hair, I think, around 84.
So after they actually started like building the dynasty.
Yeah, it wasn't the first couple years. I mean, at one point he had a mustache.
Yeah,
the hair was floppy.
Yeah.
Once he got into the Armani suits and the slick back hair, it was like holy shit. And then even fucking Michael Douglas was basing his look of Wall Street off of fucking Pat Riley, the basketball coach. It's nuts.
I know this isn't basketball talk, but Winning Time's such a great show.
Oh, the HBO show about the Lakers?
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
I can't wait for season
fantastic. 2. Okay. So that's the Ahsoka trailer. I'm excited. Kevin Kiner will be the composer. We have some Ahsoka concept art at San Diego Comic-Con. It does look like that thing, that little, mountaintop that Grogu was at in season 2 of The Mandalorian when he had to contact a Jedi. Of course, that Jedi turned out to be Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
It looks like they're going back there according to the concept art. We'll see.
Interesting.
But it is interesting, and I'm excited. So John Boyega ranked the sequel trilogy. Can you guess what they are? What his ranking was?
Yeah, because I saw it.
Thank you.
Number 1 was The Force Awakens.
Yes.
Number 2 is Rise of Skywalker.
You got it!
And number 3 is The Last Jedi.
Correct. Now, minus 900 points for cheating. And also admitting to cheating on the air. I'm a Sith. I would have had way more respect if you had just gotten it and then I had celebrated. And then you said, Davey Mack, you have your goddamn notebook open. And I just read off the paper. You stupidly admitted to cheating before you cheated. What kind of fucking cheater are you?
I mean...
No, have the success first. And then if you want to taunt the person by saying you left your notebook open, you cheated, dumb bastard.
I saw this before. It's been all over
Don't you get it?
But it's been
you
all
could
over
have just fucking faked it for Yaddle Chattle's the point.
Okay, sorry. I'm learning now.
So, do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah.
I do too. I mean, I don't think it's... I think it's hard not to agree. Well, listen. I mean, some people like Last Jedi.
From an actor's standpoint, let's just look at John Boyega.
Oh, by the way, time out. I gotta say, because I've been on this rant a lot. I saw the fucking thing on Twitter about John Boyega ranks the Star Wars. And you know how I hate the fucking overusage of the words wild? The fact that wild has become an adjective for literally all words. My dad died yesterday. Wild, man. Hey, I had a great birthday party. Oh, yeah, what'd you get? I got a new Lamborghini. Wild. So is it good or bad? I have testicular cancer. Oh, that's wild. Wild. Just I fucking hate it. And literally is a word that doesn't need to be used. Literally. It literally is being used literally all the literally time.
Well, that's like...
You stupid asshole. You don't need to say it unless there is a reason to say literally.
It's a crutch word like.
Yeah. Stop doing it, you fucking assholes. Anyway, John Boyega gives his opinion, and someone wrote to him, John, stupid. Last Jedi was literally the best one. So, here's an asshole who is not only using the fucking term literally in a way that I can't stand. You didn't need to say it. But you're fucking telling, you're saying that John Boyega's stupid. And that he's the idiot.
For the people,
you have so many fucking people. The Last Jedi holdouts about this is the greatest movie. Again, I'm not a Last Jedi hater.
I don't.
But have some fucking reality and humility when everyone who is even involved in Star Wars is telling you there are problems with this. Don't fucking disregard it. And it rubbed me the wrong way that this fucking user on Twitter is going, John Boyega is literally an idiot if he thinks this. John, it's literally the best one. It's like, fuck you. John Boyega is in the goddamn movies. Maybe I'm going to listen to John Boyega over your fucking anonymous ass, bitch.
I'd love to hear the folks' arguments why.
You got fucking Mark Hamill. John Boyega, you got all of these people telling you there are major flaws with The Last Jedi, and they won't see it, honestly. That bothers me.
I told you one time, I watched a 3-hour critique of The Last, I think it was more than that. I think it was like 9 hours. It was something stupid. It was like a Mr. Plinkett doc, but it was by a British guy. And he did an entire critique, which like basically changed how I looked at the movie. And because when I came out of the movie, I'm like, you know what? I liked it. It was pretty good. But every time I've watched it afterwards, I dislike it more and more. And I find more and more wrong with the film.
It's Luke. Luke is the big thing.
For someone like John Boyega, who is this young up-and-coming actor.
He was a self-confessed the #1 Star Wars fan of this entire new generation, getting his fucking action figure signed by Harrison Ford on the set of The Force Awakens. He came into this as a fan. And then he's a brilliant actor, a brilliant overall talent.
Yeah.
How about listening to John Boyega and Mark fucking Hamill when they speak? Last Jedi fans, sometimes you are the problem.
Can I just...
The people who do this shit. No, Last Jedi's literally the best thing ever.
Do you think they're
You suck.
Disney
because
interns?
you're a closed-minded asshole who's got some weird agenda of making certain movies good and certain are bad, and I don't fucking want to hear it.
Can I? You know what? Let's throw this out to our audience.
Disrespected John Boyega like that.
Our fans. If you like
Motherfucker.
The Last Jedi,
He's my favorite character of the new class. John Boyega and Finn was a home run. That's the best character. That's the most Star Wars character. That was the most successful character. They fucked him up. They should have been giving him all kinds of Jedi shit to do in episodes 8 and 9. But he's still trying to be positive. And by the way, when he said it, he did say, with all due respect. He didn't shit on it. He goes, with all due respect, it's a lovely film, but The Last Jedi...
He wants to continue to work as an actor.
No, he's coming from it from an actual fan standpoint. He's sitting back. Enough time has passed. He's watching the movies. He's in them. Saying, yeah, this one wasn't that good. And we all know Mark Hamill fucking hates the movie. Look at the goddamn Last Jedi documentary.
But if you actually like The Last Jedi, I want to hear your arguments. I'll read your arguments on air next week. Email us at yaddlechattle@gmail.com.
Okay, I do like The Last Jedi. Well, like, what I'll say is this.
I want to hear...
This is what I like. I know. You're right. Yaddlechattle@gmail.com?
Yes.
Yaddlechattle@gmail.com. Say what you liked about The Last Jedi. I'll say what I liked about The Last Jedi. I love the last hour and a half, even. I think everything in that fucking movie, from when Luke and Rey have their little skirmish, you know, I thought that could have gone on a lot longer, but whatever. It was very quick. But they have a little duel. You know, they have staffs. They get little rods, and then she gets a lightsaber and shit like that. And he's, you know, floating on the rock. I thought that was kind of cool. And he's like, "This is not going to end how you think." To me, from that point, everything is great until he dies. I don't need to say it every week, but if the movie had ended with Mark Hamill simply crashing to the rocks and instead of him dying, we go to it seems like it's going to be going into black and then we think we're going to get the blue credits. Instead, we get John Boyega eyes, close up of John Boyega eyes. The Force Awakens in him. The cliffhanger is that Finn has to save Luke at the beginning of episode 9, and the two of them go on an adventure of killing 50,000 stormtroopers and Star Destroyers. And that's what Rey could have been over there doing her thing with Palpatine and Kylo Ren, and Luke and fucking Finn could have been over here killing thousands and thousands of fucking... It would have been awesome, and that would have been a phenomenal... It's so simple. It's so simple. The young fans would have loved Finn doing it. The old fans would have loved Luke fans. Everyone would have loved each other. That's how they could have fixed it. Now... I love the shit. I love Luke and... I love Rey and Kylo Ren on Snoke. I love the Battle of Crate. I love Millennium Falcon coming in and getting involved. I love Luke Skywalker. I love the hologram projection shit. I just didn't need that to be the last time we see fucking Luke Skywalker. But if he did the projection shit, and that's for that second movie of the trilogy, and Luke's like, wink, wink, I'll see you later... Because he does, does he say see you around?
Yeah, he says see you around, kid.
Keep him alive! He sees him later in episode 9. You don't kill him. You don't kill him, Ryan. You don't kill him. You stupid fuck. Hey, Ryan Johnson. Hey, Kathleen Kennedy. Hey, Bob Iger. You people are stupid fucks. I'll say it right now. I'll never get a job at Disney. You know it and I know it. So I'm allowed to say this. You are stupid fucks. Because you don't kill off Luke Skywalker in that way.
Well,
you just don't do it.
You don't kill him in the second act.
You don't kill him in the second act.
You kill him in the third act.
I don't think you even kill him in the third act. You don't need it.
I think...
You don't need it. It wasn't necessary. Sorry. By the way, you have a zillion Disney Plus shows out there, so if you had fucking killed him, guess what? You can have a fucking Luke Skywalker series. Duh!
Again,
Business!
I don't understand how Kathleen Kennedy read like the final draft of this
They
movie.
all suck now.
And they were
I'm
like,
pissed at all those people.
You want to kill Luke Skywalker?
I've said it before and I say it again. That was a moment someone steps in. I don't give a shit if it was Kathleen Kennedy or Iger. Someone steps in and says, no, we're not killing Luke Skywalker in the second part of the fucking trilogy. No.
People want to.
No, that's
the draw.
Why would we do that?
He's the draw, not the unknown.
They haven't recovered from that. In case anyone is still fucking wondering, look, not for me. I'm a Star Wars fan. I've loved the Disney Plus stuff. For a lot of people, they haven't recovered from that. It's a lack of understanding of the legendary characters. You don't need to overthink them.
But
like wrestling, Hulk Hogan, he's got to fucking hit the guy with a body slam and then a leg drop. If Hogan has a match, we got to see it.
The same thing with The Rock.
Luke fucking Skywalker, The Rock needs to do his fucking eyebrow, needs to do the people's
the
elbow.
and that's it.
You know, you have Luke Skywalker, he fucking takes out the green lightsaber and he goes to town. Come on, man.
And when I saw that, I was like,
weak.
Holy shit. And like, I never do this.
What?
Ever when
we just saw what?
When the season two finale of
The Mandalorian.
Of The Mandalorian. When Luke's just hauling ass.
Everyone goes, this is the greatest moment in TV history. It was getting like that kind of. Don't forget the reaction of that.
It was holy shit.
And it still is one of those. This is one of the best moments in TV ever. And all they did was show Luke being Luke. That's it.
That's how you subvert audience expectations.
Damn.
You give them what they fucking want.
Give the people what they want, you dummies.
You see, this is
fuck. They're not listening. Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger, you must listen to people, you fucking imbeciles.
You see, the whole thing about, and this is another of what made the original trilogy, like the brilliancy of it, was no one saw Darth Vader being Luke Skywalker's dad. It was kept hidden because George knew that was going to be a huge plot twist and that was going to be a holy shit moment.
Let me ask you a question. Is it possible that moment is just so fucking big and iconic, they keep wanting to force that moment, that big twist into other movies, and as a result, they're looking for some big fucking twist that doesn't need to be there, and they're ruining the Star Wars story as a result of, basically in wrestling, we would call it cheap pop, or we would call it a cheap swerve, right? It's a swerve for swerve's sake. They were doing it too much in the late 90s, even though it was a great time, it was always a swerve at the end of the match. And it was getting watered down. And people were like, we don't need this. We just want our guys to fight. It's the same thing with Star Wars. You don't need all these swerves.
You see, therein lies a lot of the problems, is that Rian Johnson was looking to have all of his big Star Wars moments.
He was selfish, wasn't he?
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's like he wanted to make a fucking trilogy in his one movie. Like, he said, fuck JJ and fuck Trevorrow. This is my shot at Star Wars. I'm going to give you an entire fucking Star Wars trilogy in my movie. And fuck the other guys. I believe that to be the case, folks.
Again, I just don't understand how someone who runs a company was like, okay, we need to make 3 films and tell one story. How we need to get these 3 writers and directors in a room together. We need to go away for a weekend and come out with a big plan of how each film is going to tell an act of the big space opera. Again, this is what going back to the documentary series, where George is like, Star Wars isn't a science fiction film, it's a space opera.
Right.
It's
Fantasy,
it's fantasy. It's
fairy tale.
yes, but it's each trilogy is an act in the play.
Right.
And it's supposed to tell one story. So we see, like, how did Ryan not go to JJ and be like, hey, can I get a copy of the script?
No, I believe that there was some communication. Cause
I don't even know, because they see, like, The Last Jedi seems so fucking disjointed from that he took everything that JJ and
He went into
Lawrence-
business for himself.
Lawrence
That's
Kasdan
why.
worked on?
No, listen, dude. He went into business for himself. He decided to show off, outthink himself, and say, I'm going to tell the biggest fucking Star Wars movie of all time. And in the end, he got selfish. He got greedy. And he cost that sequel trilogy. I'm still I'm the weirdo who likes episode 9. I mean, you know why? I'm a Palpatine fan. I can't fucking deny it.
I have a lot of problems with J.J. Abrams, but I can't, like, be completely angry at episode 9 because of how Rian Johnson left episode, like, the entire galaxy in
Poor
shambles.
JJ tried the best he could. I mean, episode 9 gets destroyed by people, and I still don't know why exactly.
Well,
I kind of find it fun. I mean, is it just...
I think the guy who co-wrote the movie with him was the same guy who wrote Batman vs Superman with Zack Snyder.
Okay.
And I think Chris something.
Yeah. His name is Chris. I remember that from the documentary. But anyway, what about it?
Yeah, he's not a great screenwriter.
You know, from the documentary, too, he takes himself really seriously.
Of course.
Did you see the episode 9 doc?
I wouldn't watch
I watch all Star Wars docs. Come on,
I know,
bro.
I know.
Well, he was very serious. He was a very serious man. He didn't smile.
I'm sure he
thought a lot of himself.
I'm sure he farts into a wine glass and sniffs it.
Whoa. But Palpatine was in episode 9.
Fucking
And
asshole.
speaking of Palpatine, Yoda revealed his biggest regret in the new Yoda comic book. Obviously, Yoda wasn't on a podcast or anything like some of these other quotes that were given to you.
I you know what I wish? I wish Frank Oz just did, like, a Yoda.
That'd be great.
Like,
Yoda makes the fucking they have a new fucking Star Wars movie, so Yoda is like sitting with Jimmy Fallon and Colbert. They never actually bring Frank Oz or anyone out. It's just Yoda does a fucking
poor
publicity
fucking
tour.
Frank Oz. Like,
Poor Frank Oz. He's laughing all the way to the bank.
but you know what? Frank Oz doesn't get enough fucking credit for. No, he doesn't. People don't give Frank Oz, like, the credit he deserves for a lot of the good. He's made a lot of good films.
He's a solid director and he's a great artist in the Muppets and the Yoda and everything like that.
How many memorable fucking characters?
Cameo in Blues Brothers at the beginning in the jail.
Yeah.
He's the guy who's talking to Belushi.
He's also in Trading Places. He plays.
Yeah, that's right.
the-
In fact, he's in a few movies, isn't he? He's in a few.
I think he's friends with Landis.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But the thing is like, he's never brought on. Like you said, it's always Miss Piggy or Fozzie or Yoda. It's like,
Let's keep it that way too. I want a Yoda publicity tour, but let's get into Yoda talk.
okay,
Because it's Yaddle Chattle.
Yoda yak,
and
yak and Yoda.
It's Yoda Yak.
Yak and Yoda.
Yaddle Chattle's sub-show Yoda Yak is going on right now. As Yoda says, his biggest regret, not killing Palpatine. So he had a lot of regrets, including in this comic book, he reveals to Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan visits him after, he visits Yoda on Dagobah after he's killed in episode 4, and Yoda says, I saw that coming. He kind of felt bad about it, but says his biggest regret was not killing Palpatine.
Yeah.
Thoughts and
he-
opinions.
He shit the bed.
Is Yoda the biggest failure in Jedi history? Is he the best Jedi in Jedi history? Where does Yoda as a Jedi Master fall with some of this? He's a tough nut to crack. Because in a lot of ways, you could certainly make the argument he's the greatest Jedi, since he's literally fucking taught everyone, Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and all this shit. But, yeah, he had major failures that led to a goddamn galactic empire taking over.
I think the problem, and this is kind of what George drives home,
And if Yoda's not the greatest Jedi, who is? Now you may.
I would say that I think Yoda, what George Lucas was trying to drive home in the prequel trilogy was that the Jedi had basically become out of touch. They stay in their ivory tower. They're not really, especially the council.
Knights Templar? Not to compare it to real world shit, but Knights Templar, they started off as this badass fucking group.
And now they're the Illuminati.
Well, 200 years into their existence, they became bankers. And they became rich. And then, and once that started happening, both the Pope and the King of France got threatened by them and fucking took them all out on October 13th, which is where we get that date from.
Friday the 13th.
So Friday the 13th. So is there an issue? Is there a little similarity to that?
Maybe. I think it's like they just...
2 points for me.
Yoda's not going out and talking to people. He's teaching younglings. He's handling all the Jedi stuff. He's not out there in the field.
Is he a failure?
I don't think he's a failure.
Is he the greatest? If not, who is?
I mean, I thought we always said Luke Skywalker was the greatest.
I agree with that. I think Luke Skywalker's the greatest because he did what
no one else.
Obi-Wan and Yoda couldn't do. He was able to destroy, and I will say destroy Darth Vader because he converted him, and destroyed through that destroyed Palpatine. So to me, that does make Luke the greatest Jedi of all time, and why you don't kill him in the second act. Let's not go backwards.
I know, but
Luke's the greatest Jedi for that reason.
But then it breaks your heart when you see him in the sequel trilogy, and then they bring Palpatine back. So, a lot of problems there.
All right, fair enough.
A lot of problems.
Did you see Indiana Jones 5 yet?
Not yet.
What the shit? I thought you were going to give a review.
I will give a review next week. I'll make sure I have to go. I'll make plans to go see it this weekend or some shit.
I liked it. I think I'm going to go see it again.
You saw it a second time, or is this at the...
I have not seen it the second time. I intend to see it the second time. I think I'm going to see it the second time this weekend.
It just crossed, I think, 300 million this week. So
I'm very curious to hear your angle on it because I got to tell you, I actually liked it. I liked the movie.
I don't want to hate it.
I like the movie.
I don't. I want to go in and be like, I come out and like it. And if I want to be able to rewatch it again and be like,
the more I think about it, actually, the more I like it. It's one of those movies where instead of you thinking about it going, oh, that didn't add up, the more you think about it, for me, I'm going, there's some real good juicy shit in this thing here. I liked it.
We'll see. I got to see it first.
Okay.
If it's still in the theaters.
All right, we got one last little thing here, and then you better give us a Star Wars cage match, and that is The Acolyte.
Yes.
The director of The Acolyte is talking. And I got to tell you, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
She said The Acolyte, it's going to be...
the most inclusive?
No, that's not it.
Oh, that's what I saw.
She said most Jedi, but no war. She said this is going to be a fascinating look at the height of the Jedi during peace and prosperity. I go, oh, fuck. No. Don't tell me we're going to get another person who doesn't understand Star Wars. Star Wars. Please.
Well, that's what
Let's not have this be a show where it's a bunch of Jedi sitting around fucking talking to each other.
That's what the prequel trilogy was. Before the Clone Wars actually starts, it's supposed to be peace and prosperity, but Palpatine's Game of Throning things in the background, manipulating things with the Trade Federation and all this shit and taxes and corruption. I mean, it's all Palpatine. Honestly, the only thing I'd come to see for that is hopefully Palpatine's in it, like a young, Palpatine.
I'm getting nervous.
I'm getting
nervous about The Acolyte, but you know what? Ahsoka's here, so I'm happy. I'm getting nervous.
Do you know what made me really nervous? I saw something about The Acolyte where one of the actors or the producers were saying it's the most inclusive Star Wars product.
It directly goes against what we brought up with Iger at the very first thing that we talked about today, which is he is saying that is not what we're doing and that is not the business that we are in. We are in the storytelling business. This is his words, Bob Iger's words, not mine. So
maybe he's full of shit.
And by the way, I am as open-minded, okay?
I'm just saying that
without giving all my political shit out, I'm as open-minded as they get.
For me, that's not a selling point.
Right. They have to stop with the fucking modern day societal issues with these movies, which are designed by all of the creators who designed them. They're designed for escape.
Well, no.
Escape from modern day issues. Fucking look at the George Lucas James Cameron interview.
I understand that. But if you do it the right way, and they actually talk about this with Star Trek. Star Trek took a lot of modern day issues, but you didn't
We're not talking Star Trek.
No, I understand
We are
that.
talking Star Wars, and you said it's a fantasy, it's a space opera. It is different.
I agree.
Star Trek was almost designed to talk about societal issues. Star Wars is not. George Lucas said he created them for two reasons: escapism and to encourage humans to explore space. That's it.
I think when
on a cracker.
When your biggest selling point is it's the most inclusive cast, like that's not how you sell it to me. It's got a lot of action, a lot of intrigue.
They don't get it.
It's gonna be
they can't
epic.
Understand that this has become a bit of a turnoff. And it's not just turning off like whatever, like asshole, fucking those types. It's becoming something that regular people are like, I just want my stories.
Yeah.
I don't need the fucking, because I do need it, because we as humans, especially right now, we need a break from society. We need a break from the news. Like, we need a break from what's going on. I want my fucking fiction just to have me not look at the rest of what's going on in United States of America or even planet Earth. I don't want to think about it. It's depressing. So I look for my thing. I don't need that. Well, in this one we're gonna talk about these issues. Fuck off.
But like I said, it's not a big selling point for anyone that's a Star Wars
It's not
fan.
a selling point at all.
This is gonna be epic. We got a lot of action scenes.
Doesn't sound great
The
so far.
choreography is incredible. The
They're not
special
selling it
effects,
to me, Will.
Like that's not a selling point for
I hear ya.
anyone that's gonna want to watch this show.
All right, you give us a Star Wars cage match before we do. Congratulations to Andor. 8 Emmy nominations, including Best Drama. So big time performance from Andor, getting tons of Emmy noms, and including the most important one, Best Drama.
Okay, I got a good cage match. I think you're gonna like this one.
But anything for Andor, real quick, before we get into the cage match.
Well, this involves.
You're gonna say congratulations at least?
Congratulations, Andor, Tony Gilroy, Bo Wilmot, Tony Gilroy's brother, everyone there.
Tony Gilroy's brother?
Yeah.
His last name is Beaumont?
No, but he's got his brother works on the thing too.
Yeah, but his brother doesn't have the last name Gilroy.
No, yeah, it does.
Oh.
But Bo Wilmot's another guy that works.
Oh,
on
I see. I thought you were saying his
sorry.
brother's name was Bill
I just
Beaumont.
I don't remember his brother's name. His
Okay.
name's Bo Wilmot. Andor versus Krennic in a cage.
Okay, Cassian Andor.
Yes.
Okay. Versus my boy Krennic. You know, I love Andor. I love Cassian. Great show, great series, great actor. Diego Luna, I was a fan of before all you people. Because I watched Narcos. I watched Narcos Mexico. I watched Narcos Colombia, and I love it. Oh, Narco!
I think he was in Milk,
Yeah, well, whatever.
right? He played the second
I don't
guy.
give a shit.
Sorry.
He was in Narcos Mexico. It was one of the best performances I've seen in any kind of crime film or show since Al Pacino in Godfather 2. That's how good he is.
Oh wow.
However, I just told you I love my boy Krennic. What's his name? Ben what?
Ben
Mendelsohn. You, my friend, when Harrison Ford dies, I just might pass all my love on to you. Are you aware of that? Maybe you should be pulling for Harrison Ford to get into a plane and crash another plane already.
No, please don't.
And this way, all my love goes to you. I'm sorry, Ben Mendelsohn, TKO, Krennic for the win. I have to. He's dirty. He's ruthless. He's going to figure out a way to cheat, bite, and stomp Cassian.
Well, you know all those things you said about Krennic. I mean, Andor's kind of that way. He's been raised to fight. His mother and his step-parents were like raising him to fight. Not only that, he was a fucking orphan, raised by other orphans on how to fight.
Okay.
I
Are you
think-
going with Cassian?
I'm going with Cassian. He's got fighting in his blood. He doesn't take shit from nobody.
All right.
He was in jail. He's hard as a motherfucker.
Okay. Well, we have looked it up. We have tallied the points. Fortunately, you're wrong. Yet again, Krennic would win. Give me 17 points, minus 200 for you. And that'll do it. Yaddle Chattle. Back from vacay. Another stellar episode. Go ahead, once again, check out Davey Max Tales from the Satellites on patreon.com/EastsideDave. Episode 5, the 3-hour epic. Davey Mack versus Cream Pie Jones. O&A versus Ron and Fez. Radio Wars. It's stellar.
Oh, by the way, whoever put that teaser together, fucking
Bobby
brilliant.
Tamburo, I thought.
Super
or
producer.
Ron and Fez Archivist, or
Whoever
everyone.
did.
You're all great anyway.
Awesome.
We gotta get out of here.
Thank you.
We are thankful that you're watching and listening to Yaddle Chattle. We want you to have a great day. Enjoy your Star Wars. Good night, everybody!